We are live. We are live. What's up, y'all? What's going on? Want to come live and give y'all some juice on how to buy properties in 2025. What's going on? What's up, y'all? What up? So, I wanted to come live and just give y'all a few little gems on how to find cheap houses, and this is just based off of how I find properties. I don't know how anyone else find properties, but this is how I locate properties. And I always tell people, like, with everything that's happening in the world now and how expensive everything is, um, you really have to be a lion in the jungle out here, you know. And when I say a lion in the jungle, that means that we're like in a jungle out here trying to, as a little man, trying to locate houses and trying to find good deals. And so you gotta always just really, literally think outside the box. And when I say think outside of the box, that means going out, putting out signs. You can make signs yourself if you don't want to spend the money on signs. You can make signs where I buy houses, or if you want to get more creative, you can say something to the effect of I find houses. Like, I can locate houses for investors. You got to figure out how you can, spin the wheel so you can get in the game. So let's say, for example, you don't have the funds to purchase houses, right? Well, let's say you go make signs, and those signs say, I find houses for investors. And then once you locate those houses and or investors reach out to you, now you got a list of potential investors or potential cash buyers that you can go and locate houses. So I think you got, and then of course, you can put your fee on the top. And what I always tell people is not to get greedy. All right, don't get greedy. Now this is just one of the many ways. All right, this is what we call wholesaling. And you don't have to do this. I'm just giving you the ways that I do it. Okay. So wholesaling is definitely a great way for you to get in the game with no money at all. All right. Again, it's just really thinking outside of the box. And if any of y'all got any questions for me, feel free to ask. But the uh, the main thing is really just being again thinking outside of the box. The next thing is tax liens and tax deeds. Okay, I want to break this down for some of you guys because a lot of times people get the two confused, and so let me explain what a tax lien is, and then I'll explain what a tax deed is. Okay, a tax lien is a certificate. All right, and this certificate really just gives you this certificate really just gives you interest in the property. Okay, a tax deed actually gives you ownership to the property. So if you go to a tax sale and let's say it's a tax deed state and you purchase the tax deed, well, you actually have ownership in the property, but there's still a redemption period. So there's a redemption period between the two. Tax liens, there's a redemption period, and tax deeds, there's a redemption period. And it also depends on the state as well. Some states, 6 months, you can get a deed. Some states, 3 years, you receive a deed. All right. So it's a patience game all the way around. All right. And so those are the main things, really, is just learning the difference between those and learning the difference between, quit claim deed, a general warranty deed. These are the different types of deeds or special warranty deeds. These are the special different types of deeds, so that you need to be familiar with. All right, there's a lot of moving parts with real estate, and a lot of it could be overwhelming. That's why I always, recommend people learn one thing, one particular part of real estate, and then you go to the next, and because once you accomplish and you end up being strong in that one area, then you'll be able to move around to the next phase. Okay. The next thing, right? Let's talk about owner financing, right? So anytime you see a lot of houses on the market in a particular area, or let's say you go to because if you go to smaller cities where, like, for example, right now I'm in Montgomery, Alabama, and I'm actually in my Airbnb, and so this property right here, I own and financed it. The owner financed it to me. The price was 49,000. I put $5,000 down on this property, and I'll take y'all around there in a few, just to give y'all some motivation. This was a triplex. This is a triplex, and it was abandoned, and so the seller financed it to me with 15 years on it, and so you can do that as well. You just need to structure the deal where it's beneficial for the both of you guys. All right. I've done several different owner seller financing deals, but again, you got to structure the deals in a way that appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. In a way that it benefits you and it benefits the owner. Okay. So when you are structuring these deals, you also need to use a purchase agreement. That's a real estate purchase agreement. You also need to close with an attorney. All right. So anytime you're doing any type of real estate deal, do not do any type of transaction without an attorney. Okay. Unless it's coming from a family member to a family member, and that's coming. That's coming in the real estate field where people transfer or quit claim deed something over to a family member. That's normal activity, okay? But if you're doing it with a stranger, a lot, people you don't know, you gotta close with an attorney, okay? And you also want to run a title search, okay? You want a title. They're gonna run a title search, and you also want to let the attorney know that we like title insurance, because the title insurance will protect you. So let's say, for example, you buy a foreclosure and you don't get title insurance, and then somebody come back and say, "Hey, this is my house, this is my property," or come knocking at the door, and you like, "No, it's not," but you don't have title insurance. So that means that they have some other encumbrances on the property. All right. That's why I tell you guys, there's a lot of moving parts with real estate. All right. And cheap doesn't always mean good, because when properties are cheap, then you got to think about the area. Okay. Like, I found this is a real cheap, and it's in the heart of the city, but around it, people put a lot of their properties on Section 8, and a lot of these properties out here are just rentals. And so everybody's not upkeeping their property, okay? And so that was one of the things you got to think about. So if that's a big deal for you, all right, if that's a big deal for you, that could be a deal breaker, all right? So again, when you're looking at cheap properties, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Title insurance is definitely important. You gotta have the title insurance. I would not buy a property without title insurance. Okay, because if they don't give you title insurance, that means something wrong with the property. All right. So when you're looking for these cheap houses, okay, you gotta be vigilant and think about the area. Okay, because again, you don't want to buy houses on you don't want to buy a house on a block that has all vacant properties, and then you just got that one property sitting right there that you plan on renovating. Well, a lot of people don't want to live next to a vacant home. So those are some of the things you got to think about, unless you plan on buying the entire block. If you're gonna go and buy the entire block, that make all sense in the world. All right, but it doesn't make sense if you're gonna buy just that one house and it's got 10 vacant properties on that block. All right, so again, what we just talked about, tax liens, tax deeds, that's a great way. But understand, you don't own the property with tax deeds and tax liens until that redemption period is up. All right, that's the only time you own the property until you actually quiet the title as well. Me personally, with tax liens and tax deeds, I know I don't really quiet the title. The only thing I do is sell them just like they are, and that's how I make money from tax liens and tax deeds. Whatever you do, you just need to have a strategy in whatever you do. All right. Somebody said, can you still find houses for 40K in Alabama? Oh yeah, you can still find houses for 20K in Alabama. In Alabama, places like Alabama, Louisiana, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, all throughout the South are where you're gonna be able to locate just cheap properties. That's why I just, was explaining to you guys, you got to be careful about the area where you are investing your money at. All right, because cheap is not always good. I can I can attest to this. Y'all gotta listen to me because I'm here in Montgomery right now because I have an eviction coming up at 1 o'clock today, and then also I got a property that been vacant for about 6 months now. So that's what I'm working on, fixing up, getting those ready so I can start the year off right. Here's the thing about rental properties. When you dive into this game, just understand that you're gonna have evictions, you're gonna have people that's not gonna pay rent. So it's just a numbers game, okay? None but slow. How much profit do you usually make off just selling the tax liens as is? I'm from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, but live in Houston and want to get into that. So it depends. I bought tax deeds for $1,000 and sold it for 25. I sell them. And people like, well, why you sell the duplex so cheap, or why you sell the house so cheap? Well, really, like, if I would pay $1,000 or $4,000 for a property, I sell it for 25. It needs work. It really is just a sale just to get it gone. So I'm really 10x and plus, 10x plus on a lot of my properties. So on a lot of the tax liens that I buy. All right. But just know in Alabama, you got a 3-year right of redemption. So what I do is I buy over-the-counter tax liens, and that's what you saw me, the video where you saw me throwing up, the paper or whatever. That was 3 years was up, and so you can get land like that. As a matter of fact, that one that I got in the mail was actually it was a tax deed, but it was also commercial property. It can be rezoned to commercial property based off of where it sits. So I bought land that way as well. And so some stuff, I'd be like, in my mind, be like, yeah, I might hang on to it. So, because you never know what'll come of it. But a lot of these places are just slow motion. They don't have no real motion going on. And so, you got to think about that as well. So ultimately, you got to figure out what is your ultimate goal with real estate. Are you trying to make money right away? Are you patient? Because if I tell folks, rich people invest in real estate and they utilize the write-offs. Middle class people, a lot of middle class people need the money right now. All right, and so those are the things you got to think about. How fast do you need your money back? If you need your money back in 2 years, you need to start flipping houses or doing wholesale. But tax deeds, tax liens, or something you just really gotta study and get a real understanding of it. Somebody said needed advice on getting out of a hard money fixer in East Point, Georgia. Can I get a consultation? Um, yeah, you can. But I'll go ahead and tell you, man, about hard money. Hard money means a hard time, and honestly, that's why I use my own funds. All right, I got a house in Carrollton right now that I just completed, and we used our own money. And I get it; everyone doesn't have the the funds to fund their deals, and I understand that. But think about using credit cards, and think about just thinking outside of the box. And money is always made at the buy with real estate. So when you looking at these deals, and a lot of times people looking at what I can make, the profit I can make, and I get it because all of us get caught up in that. That's easy too. But I just think you gotta think about how much you purchasing this property for, how much it's gonna cost me to renovate it, how much can I make, because with hard money loans, you end up shelling out a lot of money at the end of the day because when you're making those payments every month, it goes towards nothing. I mean, I know people who are stuck in hard money loans right now as we speak. So the attack method just got to be different, and like I told y'all, hard money means a hard time, and that's what they're gonna do. It's like modern day loan sharking. The best thing you could probably do is just get with some people, y'all get together and put y'all funds together and flip houses that way, you know, because you never know how long the house is gonna sit on the market. Okay, um, that's why I tell people, man, like wholesalers, real estate agents, the ones that are really got some real motion, they making good money. If they got real good motion, then because all they're doing is supplying the investor with the money, the investor taking the risk. Of course, the higher the risk, the higher the reward. But listen, if you can go out and make money in other ways, you know, it's not always got to be pretty. We think it always has to be pretty, but it doesn't always have to be pretty. So owner financing, you can owner finance deals, tax liens, tax deeds. You can do wholesaling. You can be a real estate agent, get your real estate license. Of course, a lot of people have a real estate license now. It's like a sport now. I mean, I've been in the game a long time. I got my real estate license in 2006, so I've seen a lot change from 2006 up to 2025. Here's why I jumped into the investing game and jumped on the other side because I saw a lot as I was coming up as a young boy. But I actually made a lot of moves early on in my career, which allowed me to be in the position that I am now. But I would say whatever you're doing, just hone in on it, and study it. Study it. Don't just jump off. Don't just jump in the water because you jump in the water, you can drown. I say study it. And then go out there and put the work in. All right. Let me show y'all this triplex. Actually, it's vacant. I don't have anybody in here right now, but it's kind of raining outside. But we'll go outside for a second. Um, this is the triplex right here, and I bought this about. I've been had this probably about 4, 5 years now. It's valued at about 225,000 or something like that. Actually has another unit upstairs that I haven't renovated yet. But what I was what I was explaining to you guys, like, yeah, I got it real cheap, but you gotta look at the area as well. Like, I also, the area for me, I was like, I could probably work this area. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you got some people don't take care of that stuff, and then you got, if you look around, you got some people that do. You know what I mean? Like, but I'll get out here in the rain for y'all real quick. And so this unit right here is rented. So it's been rented for a while. I got a steady tenant in that one. This one I get 1,200 a month for. This one I have on Airbnb, short-term rental, nurses, all that stuff like that. So just give y'all an idea. what the area looked like. So this is the area. My buddy owned this house right here. He's still fixing it up, but yeah, he owned that house. And so this is the area. We right here by Alabama State, all that good stuff like that. But again, y'all, like when you looking at purchasing cheap houses, you gotta take in consideration the area, what's around it, public transportation, all that stuff like that. It make a difference. Um, don't give me a hard time about the yard because we done had bad weather. It's on a corner lot. People throw trash all out here. My yard man coming, y'all. But anyway, y'all, I used this for Airbnb. I bought this for 49,000. It was a bando. It was just, it needed a ton of work, and it still needs work. But you know, I've done as much as I could. You know, somebody asked me, do I remodel all? Yeah, sometimes I do. It just depends. It depends on who I can find to do what and how much they're gonna charge me. That's what's gonna determine if I'm gonna put any work in. So, but I try not to if I don't have to. Appreciate that, y'all. So, this rehab I think ran us about 60. I think I was out about 60,000, 65. It needed a lot of work, so I had to, replace the roof, and we gutted it, and I had contractors that, bailed on me. Wasn't, I ran through a lot of people, but the thing I didn't do was give up on this project. I didn't give up on it. So again, 49,000, put 5 grand down on it. Then I used my own funds to renovate it. I used credit cards and some of my cash. And I always tell guys like, you can't have one without the other. You know what I'm saying? You can't have one without the other. You can't have credit and no cash. So, don't let nobody don't let nobody tell you any different. Appreciate it, y'all. So I'm gonna take y'all to the back part. But yeah, this one makes good money too on Airbnb. I ain't trying to, break the bank with nobody. Airbnb, I do this for like $65 a night, and it stay booked up. It stay booked up. And I tell people on the ad, like, hey, this is not the Ritz Carlton. This is not, this is not y'all know them expensive places. I tell them like this is not what this is. You know what I'm saying? When you book this place, man, when you book this place, you just looking for a comfortable place to stay. Appreciate it, y'all. But that's why I tell you guys, just a lot of times you just gotta think outside of the box. Just think outside of the box and um and just get it done. Just get it done. I know it's easier said. But and a lot of times, when you've been in the game for a long time, you make it look easy, and I probably do make it look easy, but um, once you've been doing it for a long time, you have that repetition. Patience. Definitely. You definitely gotta have that patience if you want to be successful in the real estate game. And then it's a business, guys. It's a business, so you have to treat it as such. I talk about commingling. People commingle funds, and they using money from one thing to the next and putting it all together, and you can't do that. You just got to keep it all separate, and I've been doing a good job at keeping everything separate. This is how I'm able to keep everything rolling and I'm not dipping into the pot. Yeah, just because I got money coming in from all over all angles, that's not, that don't mean it's time for me to go dive in. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said, have you ever partnered with someone? Nah, I never partnered with anyone. Only because just sitting on the sideline, I've seen a lot of partnerships just go to blah. But and the reason why I'll tell you too, another reason why, because I know like my drive is like totally different from most people that I encounter. And so I just choose not to. But let's say you might have a sister or aunt or someone that's close to you, that you want to partner with. I would definitely recommend it, because it's gonna take a partnership. It's gonna take a partnership. Me and my wife. My wife is my partner. And that's why I tell people all the time, like my wife's sitting in the background, but I'm out here, I'm the face, and I make everything shake. And that's just how it is for us. I'm always looking for deals, and sometimes my wife challenged me, and she, is the accountability partner. You got to have an accountability partner. Somebody that's gonna hold you accountable and be like, oh, so because sometimes I look at deals and I be like, I ain't gonna touch that, and then she might look at me and be like, what you mean? And then you be like, yeah, what I'm thinking about. So we all need those people around us, because we might see something and we'll talk ourselves out of it, or we'll sabotage it. You get what I mean? It's so easy to sabotage it, and that's why I say, man, like the only partner I have is my wife, and she be right there, you know what I'm saying? What's better, bank or credit union for a business account? Um, I got two bank accounts. I got a few. So I got PNC, Liberty Bank, Liberty Bank, which is a black-owned bank here in Montgomery. I use them for my business account, and then PNC, I have a business account with them as well. So, but I don't know any like credit unions. I would suggest that what you should do is go to like the small credit unions in your town. You go to the small credit unions, you have a better chance of getting approved for a loan or something like that. But I want y'all to understand too, like it's going to be hard to get a loan with just your EIN number. Okay, it's going to be hard for you to just go into the bank and get a loan with just your EIN number. You're going to need your personal is going to have to back that EIN. You may be able to go get a gas card or Office Max or something like that, but when it really comes down to really getting some money, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to just get it with just your EIN number. Okay, that's just a whole process in itself. All right, yeah, rich people are able to do it, but you and I probably not. And when you find that person that do it, when you find that bank that just give you an EIN, along with just your EIN number, let me know, because I want to know too. All right, y'all keep me in the loop. All right, so again, guys, when you're looking for properties, when you're looking for cheap houses, there are a number of ways you can find them. In the South, I don't know, I'm not sure where you located. In the South, tons of cheap houses for under $20,000. But just know you're gonna have to do a ton of renovation to them, and just know that it's gonna take a minute for you to get your money back. All right, so you got to think about those things. Those are the things you got to process. So if you're looking for like a quick flip, you're trying to make some money right away. Any type of investing takes time. All right, so if you're investing in tax liens or tax deeds, that's gonna take time. All right, Alabama is one. It's gonna take time. All of them is gonna take time. All right. So whatever type of investing you're doing, so that's why you have to start today. You have to start right now. All right. If you want to look for cheap properties, I'm gonna leave my affiliate link in the description for foreclosure.com. You got a 7-day free trial. You can check it out. They got tons of properties on foreclosure.com. Bank foreclosure, tax liens, tax deeds, judgments, whatever. They got all type of properties on there. Foreclosures, bank foreclosures, you name it, they got it on there. Okay, you take advantage of the 7-day free trial and use it to your advantage. But Alabama definitely have a lot of cheap properties. South Carolina, you can even go to Florida and find cheap properties. Or especially with the insurance situation that they got down there. Where else? Tennessee. But Missouri, Tennessee, the Midwest, it's a ton of places that. But wherever you decide that you want, whatever area you want to invest in, you gotta think about long term. All right, do you want how long you want to be in that city, doing business? You know, Montgomery property taxes was very cheap at one time. It's still very cheap, but now they've increased the property taxes. Okay, so what happens with that is that's a trickle down effect. It goes to the tenant. That's normally what happens. Now everybody in the city is complaining about rent, but it is what it is. Rent has always been cheap here. When I first started investing in Montgomery, people was paying $600 in rent, $500 in rent. It was unreal. I could not believe it. So I still got a tenant that pays what, 650. I got a house over there that paid for she pays 675, 650. I don't know. But the reason I haven't taken the rent up on her is because she's been in that house about 10 years. I think it was one of my first investment properties that I ever purchased. And to be honest with you, she been there about 10 years and she haven't gave me like a bit of problems. Like she pay her rent on time, all the time. So, and again, I don't have a mortgage on it. And so I went up on rent one time on her. But I really, to be honest with you, I might just keep it where it is because, I mean, she's just been handling business based off of everyone else I've been dealing with, man. It's like, so you really just be want to eliminate the problems, the headaches. Those are the things that you don't want, in the game. But it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But you gotta just be willing to deal with those problems and those issues. Yeah, somebody said Pennsylvania. Yeah, you can definitely find cheap houses out there too. Certain parts, but there's a lot of properties all around the U.S. that are cheap. But again, cheap doesn't always mean good. And then of course you got to think about being able to locate someone to do the work that it's going to take to renovate the property. And I gotta give everybody a shout out that's on the chat, man. Shout out to everybody that's tapping in. I appreciate all you guys for tapping in. I said I was gonna go live more on YouTube, than I normally do, but I had to come over here and just wanted to show y'all, this unit right here. I got an eviction coming up, so that's why I'm down here. And this unit happened to be available now. It's not, it's not rented. So, and right now I think Airbnb has been slow. You know what I'm saying? It's been slow. So, what I'll do is with something like this, you can put it on. Again, this is a fully furnished. There's a different websites out there that I could put this on. Tragedy happens all the time, so people always need somewhere to stay. Just remember that. So renting out your property is not a problem. That's the easy part. The hard part is just securing good tenants and good people that's just gonna do the right thing. You know what I mean? And mainly that's really what you want. Okay. So locating cheap properties is not hard to do. If you see a property out there and it's been on the market a long time, reach out to the owner if you can. If you can reach out to that owner, or you can reach out to the real estate agent. And if it's been on the market a long time, you can probably shoot them a deal that they can't refuse. Or if you got a little money to put down, you can offer them, say, hey, would you see if the owner would be interested in owner financing? Or seller financing, owner financing is all the same, but seller financing, and make sure the terms work in your favor and work in their favor, and then guess what? You can make some major moves that way. All right, somebody said you're right. Finding good tenants. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just a part of the game. You gotta scan them. You gotta scan the tenants, man. You gotta look, check the background. Make sure that, and then sometimes you go through that process and it still don't work out, but you just hopeful that it will, just by taking those necessary steps. Greetings. Yep. But if you see a property that's been on the market for a long time, um, there's a chance, there's a great chance that you can ask the owner if they would be interested in owning financing this property. I'm never afraid to ask if the owner would consider owner financing their home. The worst thing they could say is no. And I understand a lot of you guys do not like rejection, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'll just say, hey, let me know if you change your mind. Also, one other gem I'll give you. You see properties, right, and you trying to find the owner and you can't locate them. Um, Go to GIS wherever you're located. So, uh, what do I mean? And I'm gonna get to y'all questions in the chat in a minute. So, if you're in Ohio, Georgia, Alabama, it doesn't even matter where you're located. You can go to GIS, Alabama, the city. You can go to GIS, Montgomery, Alabama. It's gonna pull up a map, and you could type in the address in that map, and then it'll go straight to that parcel. You can do this for any state, county, city. You can do it. All right. That's a one gem. That's one gem. So I need y'all to run them likes up for me on that one. Appreciate the love, y'all. So somebody said thanks for the information. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Anytime. Do you always go by good credit? Nah, I don't always go by good credit, because good credit doesn't necessarily mean that it tell a story, but to me, that's not the end all be all. That's not the end all be all. Somebody said, do you know how long does eviction process take in DeKalb County? Tenant is renting a room week to week. I don't know how long the eviction takes in DeKalb County. That's also it's interesting too, because sometimes depends on the county how fast they'll move and get people out as well. You know, so it's always a caveat to it all. Somebody said, what about making, what's up, Linda? She said, what about making tax liens good or bad? I haven't purchased anything in Macon, so I know there's a lot of them. I actually had signed up for that list that they had, but I wasn't really interested. But I would definitely recommend trying it out. I think a lot of times you just got to find out, find your niche. Find your niche and find out, if you're comfortable in making, if making makes you feel comfortable, definitely invest in it. You gotta find your sweet spot in the real estate space. Once you find your sweet spot, then guess what? The rest is history. You out of here. That's your superpower. Once you get your superpower in any of this stuff, like, you just gonna take off. And I think a lot of times, we sit back and we think a long time. And my coach always told me when I was returning kicks in football, you think long, you think wrong, and it's true. It's true. You can't think too long. You just got to go out there and just do it. And a lot of times we thinking about making mistakes and trying to make it perfect. It's not gonna be perfect. All right, we're gonna make mistakes. All right, so just understand that we all make mistakes. I still make mistakes. All right, but listen, I'm okay with the mistakes I make, because what we learn from mistakes. That's how you learn, and that's how you get better. Somebody said, where can you find these properties at? What website? I'm gonna leave a link to foreclosure.com, my affiliate link, in the description. You'll be able to go and check out those. I got a 7-day free trial. You'll be able to check those out. But also, if you just get in your car and just ride around and look for vacant properties, reach out to the owners and just give them a little spiel. The spiel could be natural, or you could just write it down on the paper and read off of that. But don't sound so scripted when you call. I mean, All of this stuff is just public information. It's public information, but you got to be okay again with being told no. You know, you may get 10 no's and one yes, and that may be the yes that you need to dive into the game and change, you know, everything. Yeah, appreciate it. Yep, no problem. But in the state of Alabama, if you're looking for tax liens and tax deeds, you can go to the website, to the Alabama Department of Revenue, and they got a whole list of properties. If you are in like Georgia, these are the places that I'm familiar with. Georgia, you can go to Cobb County, you can look at tax liens, tax deeds. They got a list of properties. They have a tax sale every first Tuesday of the month. All right. In Fulton County, you can go to the sheriff website and find that list on there as well. I mean, there's just a ton of ways to do it. And I don't want to overwhelm you with information, but that's why I told you guys you just got to focus in on that one thing that you were interested in. Just focus in on that, and then you can go to, you know, flipping houses and renting properties, whatever. If you're trying to get your cash up, just focus on how you can make money right away today. All right. Those are the things you need to focus on. All right, don't focus on trying to get, you know, rental properties and tenants and all that, because that's a long game. All right, if you want to make money right away, look at how you can help other investors. Look at how you can bring them deals, and if not bring them deals, find your own deals where they're cheap, and then you could take those properties and just flip them just like they are, and don't even have to fix them up and beautify them and make them look pretty. You know, here's the thing. A lot of times people want to get in the game just because, you know, they see the rehabs, they see the beautification of these properties. Don't get so caught up in the hype, all right? Don't get caught up in the hype. Get caught up in how you can change, you know, your life and make things different for yourself, all right, today, all right, y'all. So I know I gave y'all a ton of information, man. You always can go back and rewatch this live. And I hope that the information that I gave you was helpful. Feel free to share this information, and I hope to see you guys in the next live. I got an eviction coming up at 1 o'clock today. They moved it back because of the rain. I didn't even want to put our stuff out in the rain. I just really want my property back. That's it, you know. But I may go live. If y'all want me to go live, y'all let me know. I might go live and show you guys that, man, that process, because the sheriff has to show up, and she's the tenant is still in the property. I didn't even think that she was still in the property. It's crazy. Like, this is honestly, as long as I've been in the game, this is my first eviction that I'm having to do. So I didn't even know what to really expect. So, you know, but we here now. But again, y'all, I appreciate y'all for tapping in to my YouTube channel. Feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, I may even go live at that time frame too. All right, I see y'all. All right, peace out.